It's here. TurboSound iP300 column array. I've had this on order since August. That was 8 months ago. Because of the pandemic shortages and the shipping issues, but it is finally here. Just got this from Sweetwater. They're one of the few companies that is carrying it. Guitar Center dropped it, and let's see if they have the candy inside. We're going to take the specs right off the box. So here we go. iP300, 600 watts. It is a column type speaker. It has two 6.5-inch woofers. So what I've read online is the bass is pretty good. 4 neodymium drivers. And going down here, spatial sound technology, 3D acoustics. It does throw 120 degrees, which isn't quite as good as the Bose at 180 degrees, but that's one of the pluses I've read about this speaker, that it has a really good throw. Extremely wide sound dispersion. Again, compared to a normal point source speaker, an 8-inch speaker, I'm thinking of my QSC CP8 is 90 degrees. When you go up to the K8.2, it's 105 degrees. So 120 degrees is really good. Okay, back to 600 watts. This thing puts out quite a bit of volume, I've heard. And what's important is it stays clean at high volumes. Again, I've never heard this. I'm just repeating reviews I've read online. 3-channel digital mixer, mids, bass, treble. It is Bluetooth capable. And again, what I've read is the Bluetooth is good at a long distance. And that's about it. 3-year warranty. Designed and engineered in the UK. I didn't know that. It's from England. Okay, we got it out of the box. It's a tall speaker and it's heavy. It's 26 pounds. So that's not going to be so light to get up on a pole at you want to get it up high, 7 feet up. Comparing to other speakers, they're in the Mackie Thump Go, 20 pounds. Bose S1 Pro, 15 pounds. CP8, I believe, is 21 pounds. So this is a little heavier, 26 pounds. That's already pushing the weight of my K8.2, which is 27, 28 pounds, which is really my maximum that I really want to carry for a portable speaker. I checked out the speaker for cosmetic damages, and it's perfect. Very happy about that. Everything looks good. So, getting back to some of the things I've read online about this speaker, the fact that it has 4 drivers on top compared to your Bose Pro 8 with 8 drivers or the Pro 16 with 16 drivers, the drop off in the volume is not as good as the columns with more drivers. So that's supposedly one of the downsides. So just going back to why I bought this. I've never heard this speaker before. I bought this strictly on YouTube recommendations, just like I'm doing. So maybe someone will purchase this after seeing this video. So it'll be interesting. I have other speakers similar to this, similar price range. So I'm thinking of my QSC CP8. That speaker, like I said, is 20 pounds. It's a little lighter. Doesn't have the dispersion of this speaker, but it's supposedly louder. CP8 goes up to 124 dB. This is 122. Very close, but again, I've read this thing gets loud and stays clean at volume. Many people stated the same thing. Of course, this has Bluetooth that the QSC doesn't have. Bluetooth built in. Another thing that many people have said online is this speaker is hi-fi sounding. One person said it sounded like a studio monitor. And a number of people even are using this in their home as a stereo pair, as a hi-fi source. So that'll be interesting to test the sound quality at a lower volume compared to what I've been very pleased with, the Bose S1 Pro and the CP8. Those will be some of the first tests I do. So we have two slits on the right and the left. I'm wondering if those are bass ports. I don't know why they would be up high. I would think they would be near the woofers at the bottom. I'm not sure. I see the big black rectangle on top. That's your amp module. And I have read one of the comments is it gets pretty hot. There's no heat sink fins on it. So we'll have to see if that is true or not. Nice handle. Like I said, 26 pounds. It's a little heavy, but it carries easily in the hand. And that should help you boost it up on a pole. It has a nice LED screen. And it has a nice rocker on-off switch. I kind of prefer that. A lot of these new units are going to the soft press, and some of them turn on too easily. I kind of like the old school rocker. As you see, it's plugged in AC. There is no internal battery. So when I compare this to my Mackie Thumb Go, that will be a big difference. Same price range. This speaker is $440. Mackie Thumb Go, $450, $10 difference. CP8, $480, a little more. And that speaker is also not battery powered. So those are the speakers I'm going to be comparing. Let's call it the $400 club. So I'm going to be trying to run this off of my smallest battery pack. Here it is, my Budence. And that's only 150 watts, I believe. So let's see if 150 watts can run a 600 watt speaker. So let's see what it's pulling right now. This is at idle, no music on obviously, and it's booted up at only 22.8 watts. So hopefully it'll be a pretty easy load. And if not, then I can go up to my next power station, which is 300 watts. We'll see what it needs. One of the criticisms of the speaker is the LCD screen is way at the bottom of the speaker, and you have to bend down to get at it. But I guess if it's up on a pole, that wouldn't be an issue. Here's the Bluetooth pairing. It paired up instantly with my phone, so that wasn't an issue. That's the good news right there. Because if it doesn't pair up, then you got problems. I have had to return one speaker because it had a faulty Bluetooth module, but this one is good to go. Here we are up on a pole speaker stand. Like I mentioned, it is a bit of a weight, 26 pounds to hoist it up. For most people, that won't be an issue, but if it is, take that into consideration. Again, a nice, decent stand. That's important because of the weight. And it looks pretty good. Nice up high. Get it over your audience, about 7 feet, where other column arrays usually are heighted at. That's their height. This speaker is usually paired with a subwoofer. I'm going to try that. And that will be one of the first sound tests I do. Nothing like bringing the speaker home and trying it yourself. See what you feel is a downside. So this is something I didn't read on any of the reviews online. Here's our power cord, and it's up on a stand, 7 feet up. And then if you look at the power cord, it barely reaches the ground. And that I have it right against the wall. So if I was going to plug this in, I would have to have an outlet right against the wall there and barely reach it. So you have no room to pull the speaker out. You're going to need some kind of extension cord, or you're going to have to have the expense of buying a quite a bit longer AC cord. I think what they've done here is they're expecting this to be used on the ground. If it's on the ground, I guess it's a decent length, but most people are using it up on a stand. So this is a little bit of a negative I found. Also, the Bluetooth, like I mentioned, it pairs up nicely, but it doesn't hold the pairing. And what I mean by that is when I turn off the unit, turn off my phone, and I go back to it, it's gone. I have to go back to my settings and repair. I know with Bose that's one of the things I really love about it. I turn on my phone and it's on. So again, not a huge deal breaker, but just little things that I'm pointing out compared to other speakers. I did do a short sound test right now at fairly low volume, and sure enough, those two slots on the right and left are bass ports. Put your hand against it, you got some air coming out. So I mentioned before about the LCD screen being at the bottom, but now once it's on a stand, it is actually perfect. It's right at eye level. So maybe that isn't a negative. Depends on how you're playing it though. If you're playing it on the floor in a bedroom situation, then you have to crawl on your knees to see it. Here's your 3-band EQ, bass, mids, and treble. I was just playing around with it a little bit. Again, at low volume, I boosted the bass and it sounded pretty nice. I boosted it quite a bit. And I like crisp high end, so I boosted the mids also. Going back to my watt meter, again, playing at medium volumes, 72.7 watts. So that's really nothing. This Buden's power, external power, is 150 watts. So it's no problem running this. Again, I don't know how long it would run it at high volume because it's not a large power source, but it will run it 1 hour, 2 hours with no problems. Here's the app, and it's not very impressive. Of course, in the old days, any kind of control like this was incredible technology, but now this is very, very basic. Volume, reverb, Bluetooth volume gain, and that's about it. Oh, it does have your EQ at the bottom there, but I don't like the fact that it doesn't tell you where you're at. As you move the slider up and down, it doesn't say +7, +6. You have no idea where you're at. Same thing with gain. So this isn't my favorite app. You try something like the EV app, and that's just many, many, many times better than this. But like I said, better than nothing. A downside you need to be aware of is this unit doesn't have the ability to connect a subwoofer and to still keep Bluetooth connection. It's not going to work. If you look at it, it has link A and B, and if you don't have anything in input A or B like I do right now from a mixer, the Bluetooth isn't going to work. So for example, on my Bose S1 Pro, they have a through out, which I run to a sub, and the Bluetooth remains. On this particular unit, no luck. So it's definitely a downside if you plan on doing Bluetooth with sub. After playing the speaker for a while, a couple more little downsides I've noticed. It does not have any type of power indicator on the front, and I don't believe it has any kind of clip light. I think I've read somewhere online that said when it clips, it says it lights up or something, but I'm not going to push the speaker to that kind of test, especially when the speaker is new. I think it lights up limit, but that's what one person said. But there is no particular clip light. So it's not something I really like. And I like to know when my speaker is on, some type of power indicator. Another downside is the app says firmware, up to date or latest firmware, but there's no way to actually tell what firmware you're on or how to update it. I don't think you can update the firmware. I'm not sure. What else can I tell you about this speaker? Some people have stated the fact that it doesn't come with bags, but I'm thinking at this price, that's asking a little too much already. I did look it up. You can get bags at Sweetwater or at ZZ Sounds for about $60 each. Okay, I'm ready to wrap this up. So far, I'm very impressed. Excellent speaker, highly recommended. At this price range, $440, this might be the best out there. This and the QSC CP8, just amazing. It's not battery powered, but it runs easily off of an external battery source. I was running it with 300-watt battery source with no problem. That was another $180 on Amazon. So how does it sound? A lot of people are saying that it has a great vocal presentation. I haven't tried it with a microphone, but a number of people mentioned vocals through this speaker. It is loud. 600 watts, it goes up to 122 dB, and I believe it. Again, I haven't done any kind of tests like that, but it is loud and clear. It stays clear at high volume, which is great. What I've noticed about this speaker is it definitely has a tend to be on the hi-fi sound, where your normal PA speakers are missing some of those mid-range and high-end clarity. This has it. So this would be an incredible speaker if you paired them up. I've read that it pairs easily with a second iP300 through Bluetooth. If you bought two of these for about $900, that would be an incredible substitute for a home hi-fi. So really good buy. I am very, very impressed. Listening to it, the bass is good. Very good. I mean, it makes the Bose S1 Pro far behind as far as bass. Even the CP8 doesn't have the bass of this, but you still need a subwoofer, basically. But if you just want this in a living room or a bedroom, this is pretty much full range. It really covers a lot of frequencies. Very impressed. So next test would be some tests with the subwoofer. I'm sure that will improve it even more. And then I want to compare it to the other speakers out there in this price range. I've already mentioned the QSC CP8, which is just a little more money. So those two will be head to head, and we'll do a little shootout. But until then, I am recommending this speaker highly. Excellent deal. It was $400, it's gone up to $440. I would move on it quickly before it goes up again. And believe me, I don't have nothing to do with turbocharge. I'm just giving you my honest opinion from the other speakers I own. Okay, this is Bill. Hope you enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for the next ones. I'm going to continue with testing the TurboSound iP300. Later.